It's 2 p.m. Detroit, and you know what that means. Detroit media icon Ryan Ermanni, University of Michigan great Braylon Edwards, and of course, Maz are about to take over on Woodward Sports. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m., it's the best Detroit sports talk on Detroit's best sports network, Woodward Sports.
Welcome in, Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Ryan and Maz won't be with us today, but we're joined by a friend and family member of the show, Anson Wells. Anson, how you doing there, brother?
Excellent, my friend, excellent.
Good, good. Your buddy's in the studio too, man. Look,
yes,
look over there on the
is.
couch. There's no Maz, but there is the stick cam.
Yes, sir.
Sam Day, how you doing, brother? Hey, you got great tips. Tips. Keyword, we said tips.
T-I-P-S. Yes.
Right. My man.
That's my best Maz impression. Micah Parsons is better than Sewell.
It's like a Jersey Ray Romano type.
Well done.
There you go. I like that right there. But my man, Detroit Kool-Aid
Hey,
is in
what
the
up,
building.
though?
Brandon, what's up, B?
Hey, not much, man. It feels like home being back.
It
Feels like it's been a minute.
This is definitely your home. You know what?
Yeah.
And your Pistons. We'll get into that in a second because they actually did help me by losing last night. And last but not least, my man P. Spivak is in the TD booth. P, what's up, brother?
What's going on, my friend? How you doing today, Bray? You ready to rock and roll?
I can't complain. I'm ready to rock and roll.
All right,
It was
my
a
friend.
wild night in sports. There was a lot going on. Obviously, the women's Elite 8 game was played. You saw Caitlin Clark go against Angel Reese. We'll get into that. The Pistons, like I said, they almost got the W, but almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
That's right.
The Red Wings, big win over the Tampa Bay Lightning. So we can see what that goes. Maybe that can turn inside their season, but there's nothing more to talk about than the Detroit Tigers. Detroit Tigers, you see it on the backboard once you get a chance. They are now 4-0. And it is early in the season. We know they played the White Sox, who are not typically a very good team. But you play the teams in front of you. Yesterday, they beat the Mets 5-0. Great job by you, Pete. 5-0. The pitching has been great. I think yesterday they had another inning or another situation where they were 8 strikeouts. They only allowed 5 hits, and Alex Faedo pitched the masterpiece class against some hitters like Pete Alonso, who's one of the best hitters in baseball. Last time this happened, 2015, they were 4-0. That's how they started. What make you the Detroit Tigers so far, Anson Wells?
I think that they made a lot of subtle moves that's put this team in a position to compete for a division that's easily winnable. But you don't really need bats when you can pitch this way. Having Skubal pitching at the high level that he is allowed them to kind of filter and everything else.
He's arrived.
He really has.
He's arrived.
I all the offseason stuff that they were talking about him being a dark horse for Cy Young, I was a little shocked, to be quite honest with you. I know that he's a strong pitcher, but what he's turned in early on in this season and where he could go, the sky's the limit for this kid. He's super young. We've got guys like Casey Mize coming back. We've added Flaherty. And then the little things like Gio Urshela and some of the other additions that this team has made, they have a complete roster for the first time in some time. We don't have the big bats. We'll see if Torque can turn it up, which we've been waiting for, and he's been doing it. Riley Green's got to get healthy, and this Colt Keith kid could really be that last piece that they need. But if they keep pitching this way, we might be seeing the playoffs here in Detroit.
Yeah, 100%. You know, going into the season, I've said this, I've gone on the record, I've saying that the Central Division, I think, will be won by the Detroit Tigers. I think they've had a chance to win each of the past last 2 years, but it's been at the end, and they've started in last. They've played horrible. They shot themselves in the foot, and they've started behind the other teams. Just start off good, and this is a 4-0 start. What do you make of Javi Baez?
Hey, you took the words out of my mouth. You took the words out of my mouth.
There he is.
I was just going to start trolling people, you know. Oh, get Baez out of here. Game 1, scores the only run. Last night, hits a little bloop, sacrifice fly to center field to go up 2-0 in extra innings. Say what you want about this man. They would not be 4-0 without Javi Baez.
True story.
100%. And look, you paid good money for Javi Baez to come here and be what he was. Or
Very good
not necessarily
money.
be what he was, but be really good like he was. The Cubs, maybe a little bit under that, struggled the last 2 seasons he was here.
Mightily.
But his defense has been saving him. Now, hey, look, maybe he finds his bat. Maybe he finds
Can't
his
get
swing.
worse, right?
No,
can't
it really can't.
He's contributing, and that's all you can ask of Baez at this point.
And the one thing about baseball, it's not like football where you get there's no tax breaks when that's dead. I mean, it's no such thing as dead money in baseball, but that's dead money. It ain't
is.
coming out of your pocket, but
dead
it's
as it
coming out of
gets.
the owner's pocket. But he's actually on point. I think the Tigers can be something. Man, look, It's the teams that are in front of you. They play the Mets 2 more times when the Mets are not going to be a very good team this year. And then they play the A's 3 times.
Not very
good. You
good.
might look up, and the Tigers should be floating around 7-2, 8-1, and then they play the Pirates, who are a real team. They're 5-0. Tigers are 4-0. Pirates are 5-0. But you start off 7-2, 8-1.
I mean, selfishly, they're going to have a winning record going into home
Opening
opener
day, baby.
Like, no matter what.
No matter what.
Mathematically, that's how it works out.
Yep.
So, like, the buzz that is going to be downtown on Friday, the excitement. Like, we didn't think we'd ever lead off a show this season with Tigers baseball, right?
That's for sure.
It's like just something you bury, and hopefully they're hanging on in around 500. But to start out 4-0, 4 games over 500, and it's just going to keep going from there. And, I joke about Baez. He has contributed, but if you don't talk about the bullpen, that, to me, is just the best part of this team. Over their 4-0 start, 17 innings pitched, 1 run, 6 hits, 5 walks, 19 Ks,
Wow.
.53 ERA, .65 whip, and a .009 opponent batting average, ranked second, first, and first in those categories.
A lot of acronyms and words that may not resonate with everybody, but basically, ladies and gentlemen, the Tigers bullpen is on fire right now.
Yeah.
They are lighting it up, and that's what you got to have. I mean, when the Tigers have been good in the past, they had, when I say good, I'm talking about it could have been championships. They always had really good pitching. Benetti, you got me something here. Pete Spivak on Lynn hitting on Benetti and what he's doing.
And Tigers media and Tiger fans, they love Jason Benetti, the new voice of the Tigers.
So this year, the Tigers got a facelift as it relates to a new voice in the booth, and that voice is Jason Benetti. This Tigers-Mets telecast, a true treatment, a testament to why the Tigers paid whatever they had to pay to Jason Benetti from Chicago. Tigers wanted a Kel Harwell presence in the booth, and they got it. That's one thing that's been missing with the Tigers, bro. Look,
Absolutely.
The Tigers have sucked, so it really hasn't mattered. We hadn't had to pay attention to it. But now that you're playing some good baseball, you want to have those voices in the booth because they make everything a little bit more romantic about the sport.
I got to be honest. I have not tuned in for a game yet, but I just keep hearing his name all week long. Everybody's on this guy. I'm looking back into him. He's with the White Sox from 2016 to 23. In Illinois. So to bring him here to, right across the lake and to a rival city, but this guy really, he's got it. He's got the pulse. He understands that Midwest love for baseball, and I'm looking forward to tuning in. I might have to do that tonight.
Well, I do have some
about
examples.
The thing that I like about him is he's made Craig Monroe better, too.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's almost like Craig Monroe is stopping with his little monikers that he used all the time, his crutch words, and he's starting to go with what Benetti's doing. But Benetti's drinking shakes while he's on the air within one batter. Like, they're bringing more personality instead of just X's and O's to baseball. And baseball is such a slow, plodding, methodical game. You need that in the booth.
You need something.
Yeah. And Pete, you got some audio?
I do have some samples. Yeah, here we go.
Let's go.
Swing and a miss. That's a dazzling slider. 2 down.
Foley comes to mind when I start thinking about needing a ground ball.
Big pitch there from Faedo. A slider corkscrewed Lindor. Loosening in the Mets bullpen. And a wave and a miss. A slider for Alonso takes him down, and Faedo back-to-back strikeouts. 0-2. Oh, boy. That thing was a chainsaw and timber.
Off the slider.
And that'll do it. 101 with a...
And there you hear it there. I mean, that's that excitement. Like, that sounds like something. That sounds like professional baseball. It sounds like something. Hey, I'm gonna get behind this. Let me listen to this. Let me listen to this broadcast. Watch this broadcast. So okay. Now they sound like something.
I'm tuning in tonight.
Now they sound like
hooked.
something.
I'm hooked. I got to check it out.
He said that thing was a chainsaw. Timber.
He dropped a Simpsons reference too. Everything's coming up Millhouse, and he hit that yesterday. He's like, everything's coming
Love
up
that.
Tigers.
That's fantastic.
You got that one?
That ball is cranked deep to left field and gone. Carson Kelly detonates this 10th inning. Nothing. Everything's coming up Tigers.
Absolutely crushed that ball. Like Kelly launched that ball 393 feet, 106 exit velocity. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Smoked that ball.
Ryan Ermanni, exit velo. That's his favorite word. It's sarcastic joking. But he nuked that. And I think also, too, with commentators, I don't want to get too much on Jason Benetti. We'll jump into the next. But just give him more credit. It's the words you use, the words you choose. It's the excitement behind the words, like nuke, detonate, like words like that. Mm-hmm. They go with the baseball game when you're thinking about somebody knocking the ball out the park or getting really out there in defense.
He shaved like 2 generations off of the broadcast.
100%.
You know, because it was. It's like, you know, when Ernie left us, everyone was kind of trying to do what he did, but there's only one.
The era's
Ernie.
over.
Yeah, and that era and that whole way of speech about
Unless
baseball.
You're him.
You've got to bridge the generations, and what this guy's doing, what he's saying. I mean, we got to keep this guy around for a long time.
Yeah, and Ernie, you know, he was old school, but once again, he brought the personality too. You know, every time there was a foul ball, he'd make up what city it was from that the person, you know, and lucky man from Ypsilanti walking away with a souvenir, and it became his thing. And I remember being a kid, like, oh wow, how do you know he was from Ypsilanti? Like, but you know, that's what great announcers do, and that's why, you know, we go back and forth about like Joe Buck. Some people, Maz loves Joe Buck.
Yeah,
I
can't stand it.
I want storytelling. I want entertainment. I want more than just, well, it's you know, 1st and 10, and he completes a 5-yard pass. Excellent pass. Like I want. Oh, he put some hot sauce on that pass. Right. You know, like give me the energy.
Speaking of energy, there was a lot of energy last night on the basketball court as it relates to women's Sweet 16.
Big V energy.
Now the Elite 8, Caitlin Clark, the #1 player in the country, took on Angela Reese, LSU versus Iowa. And Caitlin Clark wasn't having it this time around.
41.
Iowa Hawkeyes.
41.
Take him down. Caitlin Clark, 41 points, 12 assists, 7 rebounds. All right, before we get into this, Stick, did you watch the game? Did you keep it on the – because you know this has been a hot topic for, let's say, people that necessarily don't tune into women's basketball.
I got to admit.
People that are trying to, you know, watch more, add more to the repertoire. Like, I watched it. I thought it was great. A little slow at times, but hey, the rivalry, it was there.
And that's what got me, you know, the
story.
Bad, good versus evil, the trash talking, the revenge game, the flamboyant coach and her wearing all types of crazy, which she was very mildly dressed last. I was very disappointed. Looking like a leprechaun. Yeah, I wanted her to be out there looking like a disco ball,
exactly.
But unfortunately, she just went all green.
Yeah.
But either way, like, they finally built up characters, which is what wrestling and WWE does so well, right? They build up the characters. And we got it last night, but watching the game, I'm like, yeah, Caitlin Clark's impressive. Reese was impressive till she twisted her ankle and then went 0 of 100 for the rest of the game. But Caitlin Clark, phenomenal to watch. It was not great basketball the full way through, though. I mean, there was like a series where there were, like, I think, 10 missed layups in a row.
Yes,
and it was just like that type of stuff. So if this was the best, I'm glad I watched it, but it still wasn't like, whoa, like nothing's drawing me back unless you give me another storyline like that.
So you're not tuning in for the championship Final Four games?
Probably not.
Me neither.
Okay. Kool-Aid, you're basketball. You're a man that loves the X's and O's and the strategy of the game. Where are you at with watching Caitlin Clark, watching Angel Reese, watching the women's sport as well, or as a whole?
Hey, look, man, when the women's product gives you storylines as good as this and kind of basketball as good as this, you tune in. Yeah. If you're a basketball fan. Honestly, what this kind of reminded me of in terms of the hype that it got and how many people tuned in, it's like when the Detroit Shock were here and they were doing their thing.
Hey,
and they were playing at 3 championships playing at a high level. And it was something that you absolutely, it was almost like appointment viewing. But then, like Stick says,
Swing Cash,
yeah, Tweety Bird, yeah,
Cheryl Ford.
Swin was great.
It was dope. It was a dope time. It was like, you know what, this kind of had that type of hype around it. But some of the other games, there are some other big time players in women's college basketball. But the game overall, sometimes it could be a drag.
Yeah, it definitely could be a drag. You know something that wasn't a drag before we get to commercial break? Let's get back to the game of baseball. There was the first no-hitter thrown of the season. Houston Astros pitcher Ronald Blanco threw the first no-hitter. Ronel Blanco.
Who?
That means Ronel the White.
That's right.
Ronel the White. And he threw it against the Blue Jays, who are a team that has playoff implications not only, but also World Series implications. But, here's the last pitch and final call for that strike.
Ground ball. Dubon throws to first. No-hitter! Renaud Blanco in his 8th career start. The 30-year-old makes magic on April Fool's Day.
No April Fool's there. That definitely was a no-hitter. Is there a lot of pressure on the players when that happens? Like Stick and Anson, I'll go to you because I actually played on your softball team.
Yeah.
We got a W. We got a
Space
W.
Dogs!
Man, I pulled my hamstring. I hadn't played sports in a while. I hadn't ran like that in a while, and I didn't really warm up and hit a ball.
What position were you playing?
You said what?
What position were you playing with?
Third.
Third. All right, that's my spot.
That's my biggest problem with Braylon and Joik when they came to play on the team. Like, these guys could cover the whole outfield by themselves. Where do they want to play? The hot corner, baby.
Right,
and it's like, you're the best at catching balls. Just get the outfield. Take over the whole thing. No, I want the all-star position.
He had a pulled hammy,
Yeah,
I redeemed myself in softball last year.
There was a line drive. Braylon just snatched right in front. It was amazing.
I got a video. I'm going to send it in and see if we can get it in. But the pressure when a pitcher's on that mound, he's got a no-hitter, he's got a perfect game.
Yeah.
To not bobble the ball or let a dribble get through your legs or drop an easy one, like, what's that pressure like, you think?
I think you could relate to it. Like, let's bring up one of Anson's favorite memories of you, the Michigan State game in overtime. Like, if you drop those balls coming to you, man, like your team's relying on you to catch that ball in the end zone. And you know that pressure, Braylon, and it's the same thing. It's ratcheted up because you're going chasing history. It's not just a singular incident, but still, you're doing it for your teammate. You're doing it to provide for him and give him what he needs. And usually whenever there is a no-hitter, you see 1 to 2 spectacular defensive plays to save it.
What does a no-hitter do for you? Like, this baseball, like the no-hitters make you want to come into a game. What would you rather do? Would you rather throw a no-hitter or would you throw 4 touchdowns, 350 in an NFL game? Perfect QBR.
Come on, look at me, man. I'm built like a pitcher. I would definitely not. I don't want to be the pitcher. I want to be the big dude that runs for 350. I want to be the guy that cranks it over the fence. The stuff that you and Stick can do, I want to do that stuff. All right?
Okay.
For real.
I like it. I always want to throw a no-hitter. I love baseball. Baseball is my favorite love. I just think it would be cool to be on the mound and, like, in the regular game, everybody swarm you. Like, they don't do that in regular games in any other sport. But
right.
Let's take a quick break. We'll get a word from my man P. Spivak, and he'll talk about something that Kool-Aid knows about. It's Wake Up Woodward.
That's right. I was going to address the gentleman in the audio booth, but it is Wake Up Woodward, the new morning show right here on Woodward Sports. You can hear it 8 to 10 a.m., and it stars the great Kool-Aid, who is over there in the audio booth. Ain't that right, Kool-Aid?
Hey, appreciate you guys,
Hey,
man.
we know we love you, man.
Five.
Also starring Broder, KG, JB. You got the whole gang. Got Sam Flannel there, too. Again, 8 to 10 a.m. right here on Woodward Sports Network, Detroit's #1 sports network, and we will be right back.
Every year, after a cold and dreary winter, Metro Detroiters come together for 2 things: Tigers baseball and the best damned party in the world. A new season of Tigers baseball is here, and we're bringing in the new season as only Woodward Sports knows how. Broadcasting live from the biggest party, it's the Grand Slam Festival at the Detroit Opera House. Come party with 4,000 Detroit sports fans, starting with Wake Up Woodward and rolling into Big D Energy. This is a party you don't want to miss, with Detroit's best DJs, food trucks, and of course, shots. Get your tickets now at GrandSlamFest.com. 21 plus. See you April 5th at the Grand Slam Fest.
Any Lady Jane's haircuts for men, and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
And with the first pick in the 2024 Media Draft, Detroit selects Woodward Sports. Thank you for making us the #1 digital network in Detroit.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts Woodward Sports.
Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential. And now, proud to be home of the Squeaky Clean Gym. Also, it's the no judgment free zone. You want to come out, you want to get a workout in, be at your own pace. You don't have to worry about what someone else is doing or somebody judging you on what you're doing. You just chill, you come in, you get a good workout in. And also, like I'm telling you, the squeakier, the better, and that's what Planet Fitness is. $10 a day, or $10 a month, excuse me. You can join today. That's what I mean. Your fitness is essential. All right, welcome back in. It's Ermanni and Edwards, but it's instead today, it's myself, it's Anson, and it is Stick. We haven't talked a lot about the Lions. There's not a lot to talk about as it relates to the Lions.
Limbo for a couple more weeks.
Cam Sutton provided us a little bit of chatter for a week.
Thanks, Cam.
We found him.
To say the less, yes, he did turn himself in. He was released free on bond.
Yeah, did you see that? They released him instantly.
Yeah, because it's a warrant, but this a warrant though. It's the same thing that happens if you can pay your warrant. Like if you get pulled over and there's a warrant because you whatever,
right?
You can pay it, you get released.
I was thinking because he didn't turn himself in, he probably considered a flight risk. So maybe his warrant got bumped up.
Also, too, I think what he's facing is misdemeanor or felonious.
It's now misdemeanor, and that's what else was released. So, when we heard about it, at first you heard he was choking the girl. He threw her through a window, threw her out of the second story.
I told you
that's felonious. A misdemeanor is not that.
That's
not at
all.
all.
Got scratched on accident. Like this is starting to come up to be what we said about Florida. Florida's a weird place.
Yeah.
The fact that they posted Warrant Wednesdays and all these little things, it's a very interesting place. But former Lions, this is the space that I want to talk about. With the move of Cam Sutton and also with the move of not bringing Josh Reynolds back, it leaves a very interesting idea or concept. What are they going to do with that 29th pick? I've been thinking about this. That 29th pick, do you go DB? And now do you have to sign a free agent wide receiver right now? Because I look at the Lions receiver core, and you can talk about it in terms of the draft. And we can get a draft pick with that. And there's wide receivers in this draft. You can draft one in the second round. You can't just necessarily grab an Amon-Ra St. Round anymore. Just because we got him in the fourth doesn't mean you can just go sneak and grab that type of wide receiver. Do you want to look at somebody like a Michael Thomas? Somebody that's been around, somebody that's a bigger body, somebody that can catch the 50-50 balls, somebody that can catch the slants on third and short, allowing Amon-Ra to play his game and whatever happens with J-Mo. Do you want to pick somebody like that up in free agency and make sure that you use that 29th pick for a defensive back, if you will?
I mean, I would love to. I don't see that in the Brad Holmes script, though. What we saw last year was them – they moved Hawkinson so that they could take a tight end, but they went early in the best class of tight ends we've seen in 10, 20, maybe more years. This wide receiver class is astounding. We absolutely need that big-bodied receiver, but I think the reason that they didn't get Josh Reynolds and why they haven't spent that money is because they want a guy that's here for a while. And I absolutely see them taking a wide receiver in the first 3 rounds of this draft. Absolutely. I think that the corner position is one that they can still address through free agency. Again, I'm going back to offensive line with that first
Gilmore
pick.
Still out there?
Either one of those two. Yeah, Gilmore would look great in Honolulu Blue. But either way, offensive line which is our strength we need to continue contributing to, or our weakness in the secondary needs to be addressed, of course. There's some great options, which you and I talked about last week at the D-backs position there, though.
Yeah, Stick, I come to you. I just only ask because Cam Sutton's situation seems like it's left it whole at
Big
defensive
time.
back.
Yep.
You have two defensive backs. One's a third, if you will. Cam Sutton was your kind of two. And then Carlton Davis, you're still trying to see if he is definitely a one. So I just think it's left a hole, and I think you may want to patch up the wide receiver at the same time before the draft.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to sound like a Brad bot, but I'm just going to go with what Brad told me. He said, we don't need any help at the cornerback position right now. He's comfortable with who they got. He's comfortable bringing in Carlton and Anik. And, you saw Anik's response to it, too, on Twitter when someone's like, we need to bring in another cornerback. He's like, why? I'm here. And I love that cockiness. I love that attitude. But, Brad Holmes said they're set. Is that a smokescreen? Could be, because, you don't want to let everybody know what you're planning going into the draft.
Yeah.
So if he's like, we really need a corner, like you saw it with the Okudah draft. They knew we weren't taking Tua. They knew, it was like, we don't need a quarterback. Like, well, okay, you just played your card. Now everybody knows what you're going to do. Yeah. That's one thing that Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, and this regime has done very, very well, is almost confused you on what they're going to do going into the draft. Remember Aiden Hutchinson 2 years ago, it was discussed, he had a horrible meeting with them. He left and no side was, and then, they're signing Thibodeau. That's guaranteed. They don't like Hutchinson. He's got small arms. Next thing you know, with the number 2 pick, Aiden Hutchinson. So If Brad says they're good at cornerback, I think they're good at cornerback. I would like to add that jump ball wide receiver, though. A 6'4" red zone target. That's the one spot we don't have on this squad.
How you feeling, Braylon?
Yeah, you ready, Braylon? 6'4". Would you be
Yeah.
able to take a couple of red zone jump balls
Let's
for us?
go.
I mean, hey, look, I'm in shape right now, man. I'm about to get
You look at it.
down, man. I'm ready. If you need me in the red zone, I can get you a red zone play every series or so. You get some rest. Now I'm done. Those days are done. But I think that's the position that I would like to see the Detroit Lions go after, man. Get a tall guy. I know you had DJ Chark a couple years ago, injuries, it didn't work out for whatever reason, but I need a tall guy. Guy didn't give you some of those 50-50 passes. I think Amon-Ra, everything has to be kind of like set up. It has to be windows and things like that. So sometimes you need a guy to make a play. You need a big body guy like a Mike Williams that went to the Jets, or Keenan Allen who's with the Bears. You just need a big guy make a big play, and it's no knock on Jameson Williams or Amon-Ra.
I think Lions fans have to stop looking at this franchise one season at a time, because they're not making moves to address one season at a time. They're building this like the 70s Steelers. It's going to be 85-90% drafted players here in Detroit, and they're going to add in some pieces to fill in those holes. I think with what they've experienced with the revolving door at that second or third wide receiver that they've been picking up through free agency, it hasn't really got them anywhere. Nobody's ascended. Sure, Josh Reynolds was Goff's security blanket, and he was nice and cute for us, but I think that they can go and get another Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think a Malachi Corley, Xavier Legette, Dez down from Texas. There's there's so much talent in this draft, wide receiver-wise, that they can wait until the third round and still get a guy that normally would be probably early second in most other drafts. So I want to see them draft a guy that's going to be here 4 or 5 years, because they've shown me they can evaluate talent at the college level, and then they can develop it.
Yeah, Anson's been very high on this wide receiver class for a long time. Are we going to talk about Josh Reynolds? Do you have that in the prep, Pete? Yeah. Okay, so
100%.
we'll wait and talk about what he said about or his agent said.
We can talk about it now. And actually, you bring up at a perfect time.
I mean, his name was brought up, so I think it says people in his camp were encouraging him to try to find a better place away from some of the toxicity and of certain Detroit fans. I know that he took some of it to heart. There has been no more support for a football team in the history of football teams than there was for the Detroit Lions this year.
Well, and more support for Josh Reynolds, too. That guy was a cast-off and forgotten, and we saved his career here in Detroit. That's wild to me.
Well, what he's talking about, he's not talking about the city of Detroit as a whole through the whole season. What he's talking about specifically what happened after he dropped those 2 passes, when everybody making those kind of look. And it comes with the territory. Ernest Biner fumbles in Cleveland. They don't go to the Super Bowl. Ernest Biner can't even come to a Cleveland football game and enjoy himself.
Talk to Bill Buckner in Boston about this.
100%. And he bobbles it. He goes through his
50
legs.
years and dude's still hearing it.
Game 6. So those things come with the territory, but that's only a select few in the community. That's not the whole. This is more so like, look, I feel bad. I'm leaving. I'm out. So now I got to say something. And look, it is apparent it wasn't him.
I get it, and there was some blowback, but you're not smart enough to look at the totality of the entire season and how much support you got throughout that whole season.
You also dropped 2 passes.
Catch the damn rock. You know,
do your job, and we wouldn't have
right.
these problems. Kool-Aid just updated me with this. How would you guys feel about Tyler Boyd filling that void?
Tyler Boyd is what, 6'1"?
He's a good possession wide receiver.
I think he's going to KC, actually, after this
like
Rashee Rice deal.
Chiefs, Chargers, Dolphins, Lions, and 49ers have shown preliminary interest.
I'm a big fan of Boyd. He came from Pitt. I
like him, but I feel like he's like an Amon-Ra
He's a
St.
bigger
Brown.
St. Brown.
He is similar to St. Brown, and we do want that big guy, the big red zone target, the jump ball receiver, but he's a technician. And what we've seen from Goff is he likes that type of a player, the guy that understands where to find the soft spots in the zone and just gets open. And Boyd really should have had a better career, but they've drafted some fantastic wide receivers in T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, and he's just been an afterthought. So that's a guy that could come
Joe
here.
Mixon was the running back.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, Boyd would be the best out of any of the free agent wide receivers that this regime has brought in. So I wouldn't be opposed to that at all.
I agree with that. And speaking of anybody that the Detroit Tigers bring in, Detroit Lions, you're bringing them in because you want to get back to where you were last year. You want to get back, which is the Kings in the North. The win totals came out last week, and I don't know if we did the show. I don't think we did. Did you see the win totals for the Lions? Dick? 10.5.
Was it 10.5? Yeah.
10.5. Answer's 10.5.
Yep.
And I think what Ryan and I and Maz did was we kind of just went around.
We did that together on Friday.
You and I, on Friday, exactly. Stick, come to you. Win totals. 10.5 is what the Lions are. This is their schedule. You just give me win or loss, and I'm going to see what you got the Detroit Lions at.
17-0, baby. 17-0. This is really
Kool-Aid.
For sake of I'm going to Kool-Aid. I'm going to Kool-Aid.
I'm the real Detroit Kool-Aid. I stay drinking.
Drinking every day. All right, you know what?
No, go ahead.
All right, you going to be honest?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Arizona.
Win.
Chicago.
Dub.
Chicago.
Dub.
Green Bay.
Where?
You know what? I guess I should have did it home and away.
It's fine. Because 2 Green Bay games split with them. Lose on the road, win at home.
All right, boom. So you got another dub right there. Minnesota.
2 wins.
Ooh.
All right, Rams.
Rams win.
Ooh, Seattle.
Oof. Fluke loss that happens every year to stupid Seattle.
We're in agreement on that one, pal.
Who's quarterbacking for Seattle?
Listen, Geno Smith came out of retirement and beat us. So
Jacksonville
win.
Green Bay,
that's the split.
Tennessee.
Oof, probably a win.
Houston.
Coin flip, man. I really like what's going on in Houston a lot. I'll give Houston a win. So we got to lose some games.
Okay.
It's just part of the process.
Indianapolis.
Is Anthony Richardson healthy?
My
that's a win.
All righty. And then Minnesota.
Win.
San Francisco.
Another up in the air. I think you could drop that game again to San Francisco. There's 3 losses.
Dallas.
Win. They're never going to lose to Dallas again.
Tampa.
Win.
Buffalo.
Potential loss. That's 4 losses.
13-4.
That puts them at 13-4. About right. I feel comfortable with that. And those losses I wouldn't panic over either. It's like, okay, you lost to a Bills team. They're talented. Like
sure.
That this last season, I had to talk some people off the ledge because the Lions lost, and it was like, no one goes undefeated. Even when they do, they don't win Super Bowls. So you don't want that, right? Like, losses are going to happen, so don't panic as long as they're good losses.
Just grow from them.
Kool-Aid, what you think about it? I'll bring you in and, 2 things. Thing one, when people look at the schedule and you see the Buffaloes, you see Dallas, San Fran, you see, what Houston's been doing. I think people forget that the Detroit Lions are one of those teams now, too. I think they're still operating on, this team's really good. Oh, this team's really good. Hey, guess what? Your team finished top 4 last year. They got to the NFC Championship
Right.
and was that close. So that's one thing. And then 2, it's the division for me. I think that's going to be the Lions' biggest obstacle this year. I won't say problem. I'll say obstacle because Green Bay's really good.
Yeah.
Chicago Bears going to draft Caleb Williams. We know that. They'll figure it out. That skill position group is really good. That defense played really well last year. The Lions know because they lost to them. And Minnesota is making a lot of sneaky moves. What say you about the Lions' season, chances at 10.5, and just the division as a whole?
Yeah, I got them at about 12 wins. So that 13-4 that Stick had, I'm kind of right in there as well.
Okay.
I do believe it's going to be a little bit more of an uphill battle this year in the division just because I do believe all these teams are taking a step forward, especially the Packers. The NFC North almost got 3 teams in the playoffs last year. The Vikings would have been there if the Detroit Lions didn't sweep them. You know, for whatever reason, they throw these quarterbacks in there and their defense and their playmakers, they seem to always kind of give the Vikings the opportunity. The Packers, Jordan Love, and that crew and what they're doing to kind of improve things. Yeah, the NFC North is not going to be a cakewalk by any means. I didn't expect it to be this past season, and you saw they had some struggles with the Bears last year. And now the Bears are looking at taking a step forward again this upcoming season.
Yeah.
But with the Lions, I like the specific moves that Brad Holmes has made to try and, you said it earlier in the show, Anson, make sure that offensive line stays elite. On the defensive side of the ball, make sure that whereas another place they were elite at, stopping the run. They shored that up. And not just that with DJ Reader, but now you get somebody that can eat 2-3 blocks on that line and try and free up. Hopefully they get Aleem McNeil, more like quarterback rushing and Aiden Hutchinson. This is going to free these guys up, man. So I think that they're going to be primed for it. And that mentality of knowing that you're at the top, I think is a little bit different. I think that the Lions are going to carry themselves with a little bit more confidence than they did last season, and they actually got some players in the defensive backfield to help shore things up with this defense.
You brought up Reader, and our social media team just put this out. It's a quote from Reader. He said about when he was at the Lions facility talking to them. The quote is, what the Lions told him is, "We ain't letting you out of here, out of this building until we get a deal done." Nice. So they locked Reader in a room, you're our guy. What's it gonna take to get it done? I love it. Love it.
Yeah, they knew what they wanted. You've seen as more and more tape starts to circulate, as more and more you can go back and you can see his seasons in Cincinnati and where he's been. Man, the guy is a run stopper. The guy is a dominant force. And his leverage is amazing. That's what you want to see out of the big guys in the middle. The leverage is amazing. All that's going to do is going to allow Aiden to get one-on-one these matchups, man. You get him in some one-on-one matchups. We saw in college what he was like in those one-on-one matches, and a couple times in his NFL career where he's not getting double teamed. You see it. You see the potential. So DJ Reader, man, you add him. We talked about Davenport. Also, just players that you already have. What's Pascal going to be? We're still trying to figure out him through injuries because we've seen them when the sample size and some stuff.
Showing
there's
big
some
flashes.
ability there.
Yeah. Getting him and Houston healthy with a legitimate attacker in the middle of that defensive line is going to free up Hutchinson so much. My biggest concern is always going to be the secondary. We watched 8, 9 different wide receivers absolutely torch us, have near career games against us last year. You bring back a guy in Emmanuel Mosley. I like his game when he is playing, but how many games has that guy played in the last 3 seasons? The majority of the guys that we signed have some injury question marks. The Lions, last year we're talking about the NFC North. Everybody thought we were just going to roll over everybody. We still went 4-2, but all 3 of those teams, I believe, have gotten better. We've got a playoff schedule at this point, but I think that we have the experience and the mentality to be able to meet that in the games.
Yeah, before we go to break, I just want to bring up one variable that we haven't mentioned: the ability of this coaching staff to improve players.
Big time.
I mean, you saw it with Kirby Joseph, and you've seen it just how, you've seen it with Anzalone. You've seen it how these guys will take an unfinished product and get them there. And it may not be year 1. Yeah. It may not be year 2. But they drafted these guys with a vision, Derek Brooks. Or Brooks.
How about Iffy?
Derek Barnes, sorry.
Melifonwu, though, the development there.
Exactly. That's the leap that's unpredictable for us. We could say this talent, this talent, this talent. But what are they going to be next year with this coaching staff and this vision?
And
from draft to development to execution.
Mark my words, Kobe Sorsdale takes that jump.
There you go.
Yeah,
promise you that'll be one.
And they upgraded the coaching staff as well.
Yeah, they did.
They brought in a couple nice coaches.
Right.
Yeah.
100%. They brought in. Hey, look, man, that's
Terrell
one thing
Williams.
Dan Campbell has been since he's been here. He's looked at the coaching staff. If it hasn't been right, he's gotten rid of guys that were his friends, guys that were friends. He's gotten rid of them because he wanted the staff to be the truth. Let's take a quick break. Let's get a word from my man Pete, Premier Pet, or is it Kool-Aid?
That'd be Kool-Aid.
Hey, Premier Pet. Hey, give your pet the best at Premier Pet Supply. It's hands down Michigan's best pet store. Same prices and all the conveniences of the online and big box retailers, with one major difference though. They're family and locally owned and operated for over 30 plus years. Over 60 brands of food with nutrition experts to help you same day, local, curbside, and home delivery. Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best at www.premierpetsupply.com.
Every year, after a cold and dreary winter, Metro Detroiters come together for two things: Tigers baseball and the best damned party in the world. A new season of Tigers baseball is here, and we're bringing in the new season as only Woodward Sports knows how. Broadcasting live from the biggest party. It's the Grand Slam Festival at the Detroit Opera House. Come party with 4,000 Detroit sports fans, starting with Wake Up Woodward and rolling into Big D Energy. This is a party you don't want to miss, with Detroit's best DJs, food trucks, and of course, shots. Get your tickets now at GrandSlamFest.com. 21 plus. See you April 5th at the Grand Slam Fest.
To any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
And with the first pick in the 2024 Media Draft, Detroit selects Woodward Sports. Thank you for making us the #1 digital network in Detroit.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports. A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports. Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Best place to be right now is Shake Shack, and I'm going to tell you why. They got the QB Challenge coming up. Win 2 tickets to the Detroit home opener, or you don't even have to go to Shake Shack where that Chicken Shack sandwich is amazing. You can just scan the QR code right now or go to woodwardsports.com, click the link, and get involved. Not only is the Shake Shack Chicken Shack sandwich amazing, and the quarterback challenge, you want to see the Lions, right? They are kings in the north, so go check them out. Register now, today. Welcome back, Ermanni Edwards. But now it's just me and my main man, Anson. Stick is gone. I'm about to torture you a little bit.
Corn and blue time, huh?
I gotta torture you a little bit. Because, I was looking down at the rundown. I see there's some news about Vontae Davis, who is a friend of mine, former defensive back for Miami Dolphins, Buffalo Bills, passed away yesterday. He got a police statement, but we talked about it yesterday. You know what I'm saying? We'll go.
I am quick.
Go another route.
I would like to ask, though. You played against him.
I know him well. Like, I played on the same team as his brother, Vernon Davis. I knew him well. He went to Illinois. I didn't play against him in college. I'm a little older than him, but we played again. We had some battles. I played for the Jets. He played for the Dolphins. Same division.
How tough was he to go against? Because as a fan, I always heard this guy was one of the top 5, top 10 corners in the league.
I won't say top 5. He definitely was the top 10.
Yeah.
He stayed anywhere from 7 to 13. Like just extreme. He was fast. He was talented.
Yeah.
He had really good hips. Pause. So he knows how to sync on plays. Footwork was excellent. So he can get in and out of breaks and be able to break passes up. Even if you would beat him, he could recover because of how good his feet were.
You ever steal any from you?
Strong.
You ever steal any from you?
He got one pick on me.
Yeah.
But it was on a 2-point conversion. So
okay. Doesn't actually count.
It didn't count. I got him a couple times.
All right.
I mean, just a bigger wide receiver. I put the body in. But he was, the intensity goes up when you play against a guy that is in the same conference. You didn't have to play against a guy, but you're still repping the same conference. So you play against a Big Ten guy.
Sure.
It's like, oh no, I gotta show him something today.
I didn't know that Vernon was his brother.
Yeah, 100%. Vernon was at, I think Maryland. He came out 06. Vontae came out of Illinois. I want to say 09.
Right?
Yep. Good memory on that one. But speaking of the Big Ten, obviously we heard what happened with Michigan's defensive line coach 2 weeks ago. Got the DUI or OUI and since resigned. He's no longer with the program, so they had to fill those shoes. They filled the shoes. But now, when you fill the shoes, Michigan hired a defensive line coach from Western Michigan. Here you go. Michigan has hired Lou Esposito as their new defensive line coach. Esposito has been DC DL coach at Western Michigan for the past 7 seasons, which means I believe he was there with Row the Boat? PJ Fleck, because PJ Fleck was there 17. Anyway, he's been there for a long time, vetted coach. But when you do moves like that, Anson, kids come to play with certain coaches. Kids come to institutions to play with certain coaches. You look at what happened with Mason Graham. He plans to transfer. You're talking about a guy, Mason Graham from the University of Michigan. Last year he had 4 sacks. I want to say he had 6 total. Just in the Minnesota game alone, he had 6 solos and 2 sacks. This is major. You're talking about a team that's a national championship, current reigning defending team right now. How are you losing guys that help you and got you to where you were last year? Like, what does that say about the program right now?
Well, Graham was supposed to be a pretty big piece of this year's equation for you guys. You tend to see this either happen or after a national championship, you see a lot of guys move or you see everything stay the same.
Why is that? Why do people move after national championship?
Success. When you're successful, people start looking at your staff and they start picking guys off. The DUI loss, though, that could reverberate a little bit because this guy from the Western's clearly not their number one choice, and then you double down on it with the Mason Mason news there. So I mean, there's a lot of different faces there on the sidelines for that coaching staff. To be able to repeat the success that they had, I don't think that's going to be possible. However, this is still Michigan. I don't want to say it, but your motto. And they're going to lose some guys. I mean, that's just it's the nature of the college athletics at this point. That's a pretty big loss for you guys. I'm not so worried about it. I mean, I hope it tears you guys apart. I hope you guys can reel all season.
I knew you would. But I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, I think they're going to be fine.
It's a tough schedule, but I think they'll be fine. They got 2 really hard games. I think it's going to be Oregon. I think Oregon and Texas. But speaking of college.
Oh,
please.
He's a coach of the players, Bray.
I should only imagine what he's going to be doing in the big house.
That's
in
right.
that locker room. But you like to see that. You love to see players that kids care and coaches that players care about.
Yeah.
Those are the coaches that really spend the time, the extra, and they can balance the wave. Speaking of players that kids care about, one Warren Sapp, Hall of Fame NFL player at University of Miami, also with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when they won the Super Bowl. He and Deion seem to have a great relationship. Warren Sapp got a chance to talk to the kids in Colorado. Oh, no, that's fine. You can see Warren Sapp got the mohawk. Warren's always been a bit on the crazy side. Many crazy nights in Miami. What does this do for a program, Anson, when you can bring in former players that played the game at the highest level, Hall of Fame, Gold Jacket players? They're coming into your organization. They're helping. They're coaching during spring training. What does that do for your players? Does it take them to the next level, just mentally wise?
I would imagine that when you've got a guy with a Super Bowl ring that it's got to help from a coaching level. But I think from a recruiting level, you start adding and stacking those names up, guys that, these kids have known their whole lives, have heard about their whole lives. You're 17 years old. You got 2 schools that are right there, and you go and you get to meet Primetime and Warren Sapp, and they're trying to schmooze you into coming to their university. I think it's brilliant. I love watching Prime. I love what he's doing out west. Don't be surprised in a few years when he's got about 10, 12 rings on his staff.
He won't be there.
No, you're right about that. He probably won't be there by that time.
He'll be in college still. I just think he'll be at a bigger program. Look, I'm not going to bore you Kool-Aid to death with all this Michigan talk and all this early Lions talk. I want to get into some Pistons talk, man.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I do love Michigan, though.
This is true, but I'm talking about a guy Detroit, Kool-Aid,
Yeah.
Detroit Pistons insider at Woodward Sports. You do an amazing job. Last night, I told you they helped me win my parlay. I wish they wouldn't have, because that means they would have won the game, but I picked against them in Memphis. And just talk about what you're seeing down the stretch. The Detroit Pistons are 13-62. That means they only have 7 games left.
Yeah.
What are you seeing down the stretch out of the Pistons? Are they giving up? Are they still fighting? What do you see?
They're still fighting, but there's only so much you can do when maybe 3/4 or 2/3 of the team is like G League players and guys that you just got at the trade deadline. And the best acquisition that you got at the trade deadline, he's not even playing right now in Simone Fontecchio because of his injury.
He's been real good.
He's been really good when he was playing. Quentin Grimes got shut down for the season, Isaiah Stewart, Asar Thompson. So right now, to me, the most important thing to look at is just the chemistry between Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey. We already know that Cade and Jalen Duren, they got that chemistry. They worked out together all summer too, by the way. Jalen Duren actually went down to Texas and stayed with Cade Cunningham for some time, and then they went over to USA basketball with the select team and did stuff, did all these runs. And so you can see that they got that chemistry.
Yeah.
But who is Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey in that backcourt together? Cade has been on an absolute tear. All his stats and metrics, they prove exactly what he is, man. Exactly what he is.
Before I get you in here, Anson, last night, this is Cade's stats: 36 points, 8 assists, 4 rebounds, 2 steals, and 1 block. He pretty much lit up the box last night for them. But Kool-Aid.
Yes, sir.
Indulge me on this one. Pistons season is over. Like you said, the guy's sitting out. Some players are injured for the season. Asar Thompson figuring out the blood clot and see how that situation will be handled. We wish him the best, praying for him. And this is the same question after every season, but here we are, yet another season, and yet this will be the same question.
Yeah.
Where do the Pistons go in the offseason?
I'm glad you asked
the
that.
Jaden, the Cunningham, it seems like it's meshing now at the end, so maybe that's a good thing to end the season on. But where do the Pistons go? And is Monty, is he a part of the problem, or is he a part of the solution?
I think both, man. When you're talking about a young team like that, he did state at the beginning of the year in media availability that this is not the type of squad that he's used to coaching or is even equipped to coach. And so I prefer that type of honesty from a coach. And you saw he really had a rough time with these rotations this year. Obviously, the biggest omission was not starting or even playing Jaden Ivey that much to start the season.
Ludicrous.
That was wild to me, man. He knows. The media made sure that they told him that. But moving ahead, you got to get some NBA players on this team. You cannot use, and not just kind of, good guys, middling guys or whatever, like we've seen them do in the past, during the Andre Drummond era and the Blake Griffin era, where they went and just kind of made some, get your Morris twins, get you one of those guys in here, and then, hey, let's go and run and try and get the AC. They got to go out there, and I get it. There's a lot of players out there that people would turn their nose up at. I said it on the morning show. Guys like DeMar DeRozan,
I love Draymond.
He's
DeMar.
absolutely hooping. 58% true shooting, almost 50% from the floor, 34% from 3, top 20 in the league in scoring.
Mid-range killer.
But a guy that you mentioned, Anson, during Lion season, and at first when you said it, I was like, nah. But Paul George, man, if you sit here and you ask me who you gonna go out there with your $60 million in cap space, you can sign 2 of the top free agents this year. Who are you giving it to? Tobias Harris has been a name that's been linked to the Pistons, But do I want to give him that contract, or do I believe that a two-way player as good as Paul George, do I want to, you know what, whether he takes it or not, I think you got to kick the tires. You got to make some type of attempt to try and bring him in on a high value, annual value contract, but a short contract. Maybe 3 years if you can with the Paul George, with a player option on that third year for him. But I would take a swing on a couple players like that, man. I like what DeMar's bringing to the table. I do believe he, Jaden Ivey, Cade Cunningham, those three can work because of the height of Cade Cunningham, the defensive and offensive versatility that he plays.
Yeah.
You want him to handle the rock, but Monty Williams actually wants to reduce that usage. So for me personally, I would go that route and probably, if I could, trade that draft pick as well.
Oh, check that out.
Trade
I can't get younger, man.
So that invites you to the party. Anson, what say you about trading the draft pick and then what you said about this offseason coming up?
Trading the draft pick, for me, I don't really mind it because I don't love this class by any means. I don't love them at all. At the same point, what are they going to be able to get back? The trades in the NBA right now, they're crazy. You want to trade away a guy named Rudy Gobert so that you can get 3 first-round picks and more.
Crazy.
Absolutely was.
Fleece.
For me right now, I want to see 2 great veteran players come in here. I want to see Miles Bridges get welcomed home, rehab his image, and let him hoop the way he has been all season. And then I want to see Paul George. I think Paul George could be brought in here and sold on hey, you're going to come in and this is Cade's team, but you're going to be the leader. You can set the tone defensively, but you can also come in and galvanize this young team because I'm sorry, but I believe the right coach, and I'm still not sure that that's Monty, but the right coach with some veteran leadership can take this team immediately to the playoffs next season. I know that sounds absolutely crazy. The draft pick, though, I do believe that Troy Weaver's kind of on the Brad Holmes thing. He's not looking to bring in guys just for 1 or 2 seasons. He's done that a bunch during his tenure here, but that was waiting to clear out the terrible contracts that the Pistons had. They were playing players that weren't even on this team anymore. So I don't think you're going to start seeing a whole bunch of Bagleys and Wiseman and players like that. I know some of those guys were traded for, but I think that this is the summer where they're going to see if they can actually use that money to get a legitimate player. And then if you can get 2 legitimate veterans, then you can go ahead and pair them with a Cody Williams, with a couple of the kids from France that are looking to be in the top 4, top 5 pick.
Yeah.
I don't want to trade that away because I'm still not sure where this team can be with what that would bring back. I want to see this team be competitive and be one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference for the rest of the second half of this decade.
Well, Pistons haven't done anything with those picks as of yet, so if they don't have it this year, maybe it's a step in the right direction. Like my man from, what was his name, the GM from Los Angeles Rams. F them picks.
Oh.
Sneed. F them picks, man. Maybe you don't need them. Hey, look, this is what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Then we'll come around the NFL. There's some stories, some things that I think would be interesting we can get to. But first, how about we get a message from WSN Merchant, my man Pete Spivak.
That's right, everybody. If you're tired of wearing the same old Detroit sports merch, come to shop.woodwardsports.com and check out the new gear that we have. Look at that GRW. You know what that stands for. You can grab that one as a new hoodie for you. Also, we're coming out with kind of a political style t-shirt with Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell. So make sure you grab that one. You can get all the new hoodies, the tees, and the hats that are guaranteed to turn heads. Go to shop.woodwardsports.com. We will be right back.
Every year, after a cold and dreary winter, Metro Detroiters come together for 2 things: Tigers baseball and the best damned party in the world. A new season of Tigers baseball is here, and we're bringing in the new season as only Woodward Sports knows how. Broadcasting live from the biggest party. It's the Grand Slam Festival at the Detroit Opera House. Come party with 4,000 Detroit sports fans, starting with Wake Up Woodward and rolling into Big D Energy. This is a party you don't want to miss, with Detroit's best DJs, food trucks, and of course, shots. Get Get your tickets now at GrandSlamFest.com. 21 plus. See you April 5th at the Grand Slam Fest.
The most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Let me tell you about something awesome. Awesome is when a guy can be a guy and get an amazing haircut. That's Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Stop in, sit back, and relax. And let one of Lady Jane's talented stylists make you look and feel great. Walk in anytime, 7 days a week. It's Lady Jane's. It's wicked awesome.
And after you stop by Lady Jane's, why don't you come on down to Les Stanford? What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and you offer more products to the people. This is exactly what Les Stanford is doing by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC, the same great service that customers have come to know and trust on Woodward, just south of 9 Mile. Quick, and remember to always go check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today at LesStanford.com. LesStanford.com. Together, let's drive. I always like that part. Let's drive. It's like us, like everybody at the same time. Lot going on in the NFL. Rashee Rice stuff has come out. His lawyer's spoken for him. He has spoken as well. We'll get to that in just a second. There was one more thing I wanted to say before we got there, though. That's what I wanted to do. Obviously, Oakland University, 14 seed. They beat Kentucky Wildcats this year. It was a 3 seed or a 2 seed. Louisville did something and you gotta say Louisville. Like, I hate when people say Louisville. Like, you gotta say it like the people that are from there. It's pronounced Louisville. There we go. A Louisville resident and obvious fan sent Oakland a check with a nice note. He says he normally sends a certain amount each year to the school that knocks Kentucky out of the tournament. This year, because of OU's story, he doubled the amount. Truly the definition of March Madness.
That's great.
This is fandom. Like, this is why you go to certain schools. This is why you go to college at all. You just want to be a part of something. And a Louisville fan sending OU a check for beating him, like, that's about as fandom and spunky as it gets.
The only thing that bothers me about the OU run is that everybody thinks that school's from Northern California.
Oh, true.
I'm so tired of that. Yeah. They're here in Rochester, Michigan. I did a summer semester there while I was going to Michigan State, so I'm a Golden Grizzly as well. It was really, really fun watching them make that move.
The cool thing, too, about it is if you pay attention, like, Oakland took them to overtime, and now look where that team is.
That's right.
North Carolina State is one of the teams, probably the hottest team.
What I tell you last Friday, you guys said Marquette or NC State. I said this team has the feel of that low seed that makes the Final Four, and they're there for both the girls and the boys.
You did, and actually NC State, UConn.
Oh yeah, you're right. That's wild.
UConn's done it before.
Yeah, UConn has, but seeing two teams from both the men's and women's in the Final Four is pretty interesting.
I think South Carolina may have done it maybe 4, 5, 6 years back, but it does happen. But getting to the NFL, Rashee Rice, we told you over the weekend, Rashee Rice crashed his car, a Corvette, as well as another one of his friends or associates was driving a Ferrari. They left him
Lamborghini.
Lamborghini, excuse me. How sorry of me, a Lamborghini. And then they left. They fled the scene. This has come out on behalf of Rashee Rice. His thoughts are with everyone impacted by the automobile accident on Saturday. Rashee is cooperating with local authorities, much unlike someone else we won't name, and will take all necessary steps to address the situation responsibly. Any and all requests for comment can be directed to his attorney, Mr. Royce, West of West and Associates. This is also from ML Football. Chiefs Rashee Rice was at the bar. This is a video, this is a picture, from the day in question. He was at a bar with family members before wrecking a car at the incident. His clothing is the same as someone leaving the scene of the accident, confirming that. Confirming the foot. So basically, he was at drinks. You can see drinks were flowing at the party that they were at. It's the same day of the event in which he left and fled the scene. I love how it says he's cooperating.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about him cooperating now as opposed to staying at the scene of the crime, Anson Wells? I know that was the first thing that you wanted to go to, and I'll get your reaction in a second, Kool-Aid.
I mean, I guess it's cooperation after the fact. I don't know. I've been kind of hanging out on Twitter, seeing some stuff out there. There's a little bit of a controversy over to who was actually driving. I'm not going to go out there and say that it was somebody else, but there are some reports that may not have been him.
Right.
So this one's going to play out, and I think we got some surprises still with this one.
It's funny, so Kool-Aid, obviously, them fleeing the scene will help. And the reason why I will, because let's say it's him, if he has a high blood alcohol content level, you cause this type of crash. If I'm Veach and the Kansas City Chiefs, I'm the Kansas City Chiefs, I can't bring you back if this is an actual felony assault. But by you leaving, and now they can only give you probation or whatever, it makes it a little bit easier to pick him up. But 100%, it actually works in his favor. But where are you with the situation? I mean, I asked you a different question. You look at Rashee Rice, you're a young man, $3.5 million. I want to say last year is what your salary was. You would have made more this year. You're on the Super Bowl winning team, the Kansas City Chiefs. They're back-to-back. This is your first. You seemingly have everything in front of you. And don't get me wrong, I'm not judging. I've been there. I've made the same mistake, dumb things like that. But what are you thinking in this moment now, man? Because now it's real, right?
Yeah. It's an interesting thing to kind of see all the different videos and angles of them kind of walking away from the crash, knowing that, some people wound up having to go to the hospital. It's putting other people's lives in danger as well. It's something else, man. It's a tough thing because when you do look at the NFL, you look at pro sports in general, it's a pretty forgiving space. You know what I mean? You get your second chances. You even get your third chances. The one thing where a lot of people are probably in pro sports against second and third chances is whenever it deals with domestic violence. But we've seen these types of things before from Rice, from other players, and across the spectrum of sports. And they've gotten their second chance or second looks. He probably definitely helped himself out a lot by walking away, even though to a lot of us it probably looked like the wrong move.
Hey, Pete, let me get you involved here. If you were involved in that pileup that that Rashee Rice and his friends were a part of or they caused, what would your thoughts be? Although you were okay, you made it out of the crash, but that person fled the scene. What are your thoughts toward those people?
If I'm the victim?
Yeah.
I'd be ticked off, man, because, when I had my OWI and when I was caught also smoking marijuana while driving.
A rebel.
Hey, it is what it is, man.
A rebel.
I'm just saying, I took responsibility for my actions. And it's not like Rashee Rice doesn't have, good attorneys and power of who he is behind him to take responsibility. I understand being freaked out and scared, especially if you know that you did something wrong. But me personally, I stand up for when I do something wrong, I'll take full responsibility for it. And I think that Rashee Rice has enough money in this world and enough power in this world and pull that he can get out and be like, oh crap, my bad. But he's got the attorneys behind him, and he's got hopefully the Chiefs will back him up. If it's not too bad. But you know what I mean. He should just be an adult, take responsibility, and I think you're going to get to the thing on Keyshawn Johnson here, kind of calling him out a little bit later on as well.
Yeah, and Anson, I think something that's going to hurt him with the situation is, did you see there's one, I guess, person that was in the crash or maybe a bystander that was watching, had his phone recording, and he was filming, and he said, the first question he asked him was, are you all right? The guy checked on him, said, are you all right on camera? And then he asked, oh, you're just leaving? Or you're just going to flee? Guy just takes out. Something like that. Now, that's got to hurt in the courtroom, the Court of Appeals.
Yeah, it's definitely going to hurt in the courtroom, but these guys have $1 million lawyers. You said it earlier. When you get pulled, when something like this happens and it was bad luck, you stick around. But if you have something to hide, you get the hell out of there and you deal with it later. It's better to ask for forgiveness than it is for permission up front. And I've been throwing parties, electronic parties, for over 20 years in Detroit. I know quite a few people that have found themselves in similar predicaments on their journey home. And, fleeing is a lot less than a DUI.
Yeah, it is.
It is not only in the actual courts, but in the court of public opinion. And if this guy, it goes out that he was drunk when he was racing, it becomes a whole bigger story and a much bigger problem for him with the team in the NFL. As it is, he was just racing.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, 100%. And we're glad that everyone involved in the crash is okay. They're fine, and they had nicks and scrapes and minor bruises.
Henry Ruggs was not so fortunate.
He wasn't. And then that goes back to the start of the thing. It's one person was drunk, was out of control. He lost control. Talking about Henry Ruggs, and we know what happened because of that. Another individual racing and no one dies. It's a different thing. Now, when someone dies, enter Jalen Carter, enter Henry Ruggs. Situation, things get a lot more serious. So let's get off the seriousness. Let's talk about a team that I know, near and dear to my heart. They wear the actual same colors as the Michigan State Spartans. It is the New York Jets. Hear me out when I say this. The New York Jets are thinking about trading, or not trading. They're thinking about taking a quarterback or moving up with the number 10 pick. And this is Joe Judge, the general manager of my beloved New York Jets. Look, they're looking to trade the 10th pick overall to get a quarterback, to find a quarterback for 18. I don't know.
Will he be better than Josh Rosen or Zach Wilson? I sure hope so.
Look, the Jets have struggled at the quarterback position. I mean, they drafted, who did I play with? Kellen Clemens.
They haven't had
Mark Sanchez, who I played with. Back-to-back AFC Championship appearances. Didn't work out.
Is it Ken O'Brien is the last good quarterback they had?
Class of 83. But here's the question. You have a quarterback. What do you think about him? And this is something that causes Aaron Rodgers to go ballistic when you draft a quarterback. But he can't be the same since he's a little older now.
Well, he knows he's only got 1 year left on his deal.
Exactly.
He knows that it's his team.
Is it one or two?
They've been gearing the roster to give him the weapons that he needs. He's got to know that this franchise is in desperate need of quarterback leadership when he leaves. Because when he was hurt this last year, you saw it. That team could have made the playoffs if they had any kind of consistent quarterback play. I'll tell you, watching Hard Knocks last offseason, I really thought that Zach Wilson was going to flourish underneath Aaron's tutelage for an entire year. The fact that they're not finding any takers for him in the trade market, I think, is going to allow Wilson to come back for one more year on his rookie deal. Why do you want two rookie deal quarterbacks behind a Hall of Famer? So to me, trading up, that just sounds like more New York Jets to me. I know you love them, but I've never understood their moves, man.
The fact that they're stuck with Zach Wilson and that he actually could see games next year is crazy. I think it's crazy after everything that he's been through, especially last season, what Rodney Harrison said about him live on the air on CBS, that almost got Rodney fired.
Yep.
Like, if Rodney didn't have Super Bowl rings and Bill Belichick in his pocket, he wouldn't have been on the air anymore. Trust me, I know for a fact. But what do I want to go to? I wanted to go to quarterback position, Chad Henne. I know every time I say something about Michigan, you're like, but looking at a move that was just made, the Kansas City Chiefs, and this is something that we've talked about on the show, having a quarterback in the wings on a team that's good. The Kansas City Chiefs have definitely had experience with quarterbacks getting hurt. Patrick Mahomes, twice he got hurt. Chad Henne comes in, gets the win. They go to the next round. I think that's what they're trying to fill, and I think they filled that void. What say you, Kool-Aid, about Carson Wentz, guy that's just hanging on? He's now the backup quarterback with the Kansas City Chiefs. I think it's a good move.
Yeah, and I think it's a good move for them, especially a team that when you've kind of already seen them have some success this way before. Carson Wentz is a guy that has some moxie. He has experience. You can't really go wrong with him, man.
He's got a ring.
And their eye, he has a ring. And their eye for that type of talent, especially at the backup quarterback spot. I think where it also helps is having another kind of quarterback mind like Carson Wentz in the room, not just to help or back up, and support Patrick Mahomes, but to work with the wide receivers, just like we saw Teddy Bridgewater do with J-Mo, to be able to kind of take some of that extra responsibility and try and help to uplift this team all the way around. For you know that everybody in that locker room, whether you touch that field or not, and they win that ring, they're going to know the contributions that you made to that team overall. I think it's an A+ move for them.
Different styles of play, but very similar to what we saw with Joe Flacco last year. A guy that you think is out of the league. I was kind of surprised when I saw this breakdown. I was like, guy's still playing, But when you can have a complete team listen, Cleveland was a very good team that had quarterback issues, and they made the playoffs because they got a good quarterback in there that had the understanding and experience in this league. That's a great move for Kansas City. He's a poor man's Mahomes with all of the understanding and experience that they could ever ask for if he has to fill in for a couple of games or even step in the playoffs.
And don't forget, once upon a time he was sitting at 9-1, and it got his team into the playoffs.
Right.
And obviously your boy Nick Foles won the Super Bowl. Hey, look, we're gonna take
Where did he go to school his first year?
Arizona.
No, before that?
Arizona.
He transferred from
Arizona.
State.
Arizona.
Michigan State.
Arizona.
Yeah, stick to your guns.
No one knew about
your
Michigan
guns.
State. No one knew about Michigan State. Arizona. It's just like
Nick Foles went to Michigan State. You all
just-
remember that.
Cap. It's just like it's like Keith Nichols. No one knows that he was at Oklahoma playing quarterback. They only know he was at Michigan State.
This is true.
No one knows about the first school. Jameson Williams went to Ohio State.
That's another ring going back to Michigan State, though, from the NFL. I know he was barely there, but
You see how Michigan State tries to take wins? They got to really reach to get those wins, man.
not in basketball.
Apparently, what round y'all losing?
Where do y'all playing right now? Were you guys playing in March?
When last time y'all been in the national championship? We've been twice more recent than you guys.
But what did you do?
When's the last time y'all been?
We won one in 2000.
When's the last time you been? The great time
In 2020, we won the championship, but COVID took it from us.
And with that, that's Michigan State. Commercial break. Peace pipe. Stay out.
What happens when you see that black and yellow sign out in front of your house that tells the bad guys and Michigan State Spartans one thing? That's right. It's a new year. Let Guardian Alarm offer customized solutions from real experts, 24/7 professional monitoring, and technology backed by people and people who have been proven to work and care. Call 1-800.
Stay out.
That's 1-800.
Stay out.
Call them today. Tell them you want no Michigan State Spartans, but call them today and tell them that Woodward Sports sent you. Also, I do have some good news and some bad news. The bad news is insurance rates are going up across the board in Michigan, especially if you flee the scene of an accident. And the good news is that Swiss Insurance is here to help. Right now, more than ever, it's critical for you to have your insurance reviewed, and Swiss will make sure that your carrier does not slip in extra fees or raise deductibles. Call Market Swiss Insurance today or visit SwissINS.com and tell them that Woodward Sports sent you. We'll be right back.
Every year, after a cold and dreary winter, Metro Detroiters come together for two things: Tigers baseball and the best damned party in the world. A new season of Tigers baseball is here, and we're bringing in the new season as only Woodward Sports knows how. Broadcasting live from the biggest party. It's the Grand Slam Festival at the Detroit Opera House. Come party with 4,000 Detroit sports fans, starting with Wake Up Woodward and rolling into Big D Energy. This is a party you don't want to miss, with Detroit's best DJs, food trucks, and of course, shots. Get your tickets now at GrandSlamFest.com. 21 plus. See you April 5th at the Grand Slam Fest.
What's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
To any Lady Jane's haircuts for men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's haircuts for men, it's wicked awesome.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Join Woodward Sports in two great parties. Two great parties. Grand Slam Fest and Opening Day Block Party. Grand Slam Fest will begin broadcasting live from 8 to 4. They're going to be there all day, getting it in, kicking it. Grand Slam Fest. You know your boy Stick's going to be on the microphones, going to have the drinks going, and it's going to be a great party to celebrate not only just the team, but the team is 4-0 and could be 5-0 by the time opening day happens. Win your tickets now. Like the stream and comment Grand Slam Fest. That's in the chat right now. We will select the winner to become an opening day finalist to get those tickets. Look, all you got to do is type in Grand Slam Fest in the chat right now. My man Pete Spivak, by the end of the show, will have a winner. Is that right, Pete? Sounds like a plan. Or
Need 100 likes. 20. We have 75 right now. Get the 25 more likes, baby.
Or you can simply just go buy your tickets at GrahamSamFest.com. Check it out. All right. What were you about to say over there, Ams? You had something to say?
No, I was just going to say, I know that's a great time. You don't need a ticket to the game to go.
Nope.
Just go down there. It happens all day long, before the game, during the game, after the game. If you've never been down to Detroit during opening day, maybe you're a casual baseball fan, but Cleveland, Pittsburgh, and Detroit, these are baseball cities, and the whole city is transformed during opening day. I mean, if you've never experienced an opening day, you've got to get down there. And like you said, Braylon, you're going to see a guaranteed winning baseball team on Friday. At worst, they could be 4-3. They could be 7-0.
Yeah,
Hey,
100%.
Anson they have a question for Anson in the chat.
Oh, go ahead. Please.
QT asks, who did Sparty lose to in the hockey tournament?
Ice soccer?
Nah, don't do
My
that.
man's talking about ice soccer?
Oh, we talked about it yesterday, the Frozen Four.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it.
Not like
I did
Michigan.
not tune in, and I am not that worried about the results.
Hey, you're not familiar with it like Michigan is.
Did Michigan beat them yesterday? I know they played,
Yeah,
right?
they beat them 5-2. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy.
Light work.
That's 28.
Leaders in the best.
That's 20. That's 28 Frozen Four appearances.
We're talking about
Most
ice
ever.
soccer.
Well, y'all don't have much else to talk about.
And the first school ever to go to the college football playoff and the Frozen Four in the same year.
All right, here we go. Let's play a game. Let's play either or. This is a Ryan Ermanni game that I stole because I'm trying to rank. Where do I view the Lions' skill position core right now, including the quarterback? Most of the teams don't do this. We're gonna do golf too. See what their numbers add up to. Obviously, the lowest number would be the best overall, statistically wise. Amon-Ra, St. Brown. Either or. Amon-Ra or CeeDee Lamb. Oh,
For this team, oh man.
just as a player,
mean-
just as a player, because I'm trying to, like I said, I'm trying to average out where they are skill wise, rank.
I mean, that's so tough,
That's a
Braylon.
tough
Who
one.
you taking wide out? Just who would you rather have?
That is a tough
See,
one.
I mean,
Just
I don't want to go on the air and officially say CeeDee Lamb.
just
you know,
just give me a. Listen. This is another team. This is not the Detroit Lions aesthetic. It's another squad. You're just getting the best wide receiver. You'll see how it pans out. You're taking Amon-Ra or CeeDee Lamb. So you're taking CeeDee Lamb.
yeah.
All right. You
I'm
taking
sorry, Amon-Ra.
CeeDee Lamb or Amon-Ra?
Gosh, Bray, come on, Bray.
I know, right?
So
Yo,
I take it that's CeeDee Lamb. All right. So Amon-Ra or Stephon Diggs.
Oh, Amon-Ra.
I'm going St. Brown.
All
Okay.
day,
All
all
right.
day.
So he's got one over him. AJ Brown, Amon-Ra, St. Brown.
Ooh.
I mean, yeah, you're going with Brown, but just AJ Brown. All right, AJ Brown.
I'm going with Amon-Ra.
You're smoking crack. you smoking crack. I knew you were a thin man. I didn't know why you were thin. I now know. You are smoking crack. Cut it out.
Listen,
Cut it out. Knock it off.
Take Devonta Smith off that team.
Knock it off.
And let me see what he is with all of
He
the
had
defense focus
1,300
on.
yards with nobody in Tennessee.
That's
with
fair.
no quarterback.
That's fair. Well, Tannehill was.
Stop it. He played wide receiver when he first got
I'm
to
not
college.
putting, unless you say Justin Jefferson, I'm not putting more than 2 wide receivers over Amon-Ra St. Brown. It's not happening.
Devontae Adams.
No, not at this point in his career.
Devontae Adams.
I gotta go St. Brown with that one.
Okay, St. Brown over Devontae Adams. Well, yeah, okay. Well, this is for
And
y'all
he's
anyway.
looking at us getting all bad like he played wide receiver in the NFL or something.
Justin Jefferson or Amon-Ra St. Brown.
JJ.
Okay.
JJ.
Jay Jetta all day.
Cooper Kupp or Amon-Ra.
It's not even a debate.
I gotta go with St. Brown.
Push.
Garrett Wilson or Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Come on. Don't even compare him that long.
We'll go St. Brown.
Yes,
we'll go
please.
St. Brown.
We'll see
All
what
right.
he can do with a real quarterback throwing him this year in New York, but Garrett Wilson is behind Amon-Ra at this point.
All right. Devontae Smith.
Amon-Ra.
I agree. Keenan Allen.
At this point in their career, Amon-Ra.
Yeah, St. Brown at this point.
I love me some Keenan Allen.
T. Higgins.
Better than T. Higgins.
All right, so we'll leave the rest alone. Brent, here we go. One more. Deebo Samuel.
I'd prefer to have him over Deebo.
Bro, you made these tough, man. I'm gonna go same. Goodness gracious.
Third down.
Okay.
Just think about third down, Kool-Aid. You want to
Deebo
look for Deebo on third down, or you want to look for Amon-Ra first down on third down?
Well, you know what they did.
All right.
They did get St. Brown out in some running packages this year. I'm gonna take St. Brown for right now.
You guys.
That was tough.
You guys are very ambitious. So you guys basically have Amon-Ra as the fourth best wide receiver in the NFL. Safe to say.
Top 5.
I was gonna say like a top 5.
I can see your boy in Philly being a push.
Okay, so we'll give you 4. 4 is fine. 4 is great. You're top 4 in the NFL. That's saying something. Tight ends. Sam Laporta. Would you rather have George Kittle or Sam Laporta?
Laporta.
Yeah.
Would you rather have Hockenson or Laporta?
Laporta.
Kelsey or Laporta?
Laporta. No, thank you. Travis,
Mark
Kelsey,
Andrews.
Pfizer, Swift. No, thank you. I don't want him here.
You tell him, Anson. Mark Andrews.
Mandrews, I love Mandrews, but no, I want Laporta's the best. I mean, aside from Kelsey's the best tight end in the league right now.
Look.
But what we're going forward, I want Laporta over everybody.
I'm just going to help you out and save the conversation now. Sam Laporta is the best tight end in the league right now.
He is.
Sam's 1.
Yeah.
So now he's 1. Running backs. Here we go.
Oh, this one's gonna be tougher than St. Brown.
This is gonna be.
Can we start with Bijan and Jameer? Who would you rather have? And then we can get bigger.
Would you wait? Wait, you
I'll
gotta say that. You gotta say that.
I'll let you handle it.
You gotta say that one. You gotta save that one. Absolutely save that one because that's always gonna come down to the 2023 draft.
We got that for the finale.
Both those boys are cooking. All right, RVs in 2023. Here we go. Would you rather Gibbs over
McCaffrey?
Well, that's Gibbs or McCaffrey.
McCaffrey.
All right, Gibbs or Barkley.
In a real offense, I'm scared to see what Barkley does in Philly. I gotta give it to Saquon.
Okay, so we got 2 ahead. Josh Jacobs.
No thanks.
Or Gibbs.
Gibbs all day.
Okay. Travis Etienne or
Gibbs.
Breece Hall.
Gibbs.
I was gonna say that's.
I mean, what he did coming back from an ACL is truly remarkable. I think Breece Hall could end up being the RB1 next season. So
He was last year. Okay.
It's tough.
Kenneth Walker III, a Michigan State guy.
Gibbs.
Jonathan Taylor.
That's a tough one. I got to the season he had last year after coming back from injury himself. I got to go with JT.
Okay. Joe Mixon.
Definitely Gibbs at this point in their careers.
Is he the best running back on his team?
Oh, in Tennessee now?
No, I'm talking about Gibbs.
I'm sorry. He went to Houston.
Monty.
Right?
Between Montgomery and Gibbs,
I think he's the best just because of his versatility, what he can do.
Okay.
And they just scratched the surface with him. You know, you didn't see as much of him in the first half. You saw a lot more Monty.
DeAndre Swift.
You already know.
100%. Yes. So in that case, we're saying Gibbs is the third best running back in the NFL.
No, we didn't say Bijan yet, did we?
Bijan, excuse me. Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs.
Push.
Wow.
Push. I mean, he had Desmond Ridder handling the ball last year.
What say you?
I'll take Gibbs right now over Bijan.
You take Gibbs?
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
He had a better season, that's for sure.
Nick Chubb.
No thanks. Coming back, no thanks.
Yeah, you're right on that one. Goodness, man. These are tough, man. I'll do Gibbs.
This is his 7th year in the league, Nick Chubb. Not a whole lot of running backs do much in their 7th year.
I have a feeling that Gibbs is going to be the best running back in the division. That's just me this year. I think he's going to be the best one in the NFC North.
And last, Tony Pollard.
Well, you're being real nice, Kool-Aid. Pollard as a number 1 back last year was absolutely exposed. 2 years ago, he was solid as a compliment to Zeke. I'm not a big Pollard guy. I don't think he could handle the whole offense. Gibbs was fantastic last year, being able to be balanced with Monty, Thunder and Lightning. At the same point, what I saw out of Gibbs is a guy that could go in and handle 350 touches if he needed to as a 3-down back.
All right, here we go. Let's go to quarterbacks. I'm gonna save Jameson because Jameson's the number 2 for the Detroit Lions as of now. So we'll save that. How about we do this? Let's take a quick break and then we'll finish this up. First,
I like
we'll
this.
We'll add some suspense to it. Let's get a message in here from Planet. Who is it now?
Actually, it's gonna be Kool-Aid.
Premier Pet.
Hey, let's get some Premier Pet, man. Hey, you guys already know on the morning show, we got the Detroit Lion, we got the Detroit Tiger, and we also adopted a Oakland Golden Grizzly, man. You know what I'm saying? But do you know where we go to get our pets the best? It's Premier Pet Supply, hands down, Michigan's best pet store, same prices and all the conveniences of the online and big box retailers. With one major difference, though, they've been family and locally owned for over 30 plus years, over 60 brands of food and nutrition experts to help you. Same day, local, curbside, and home delivery. Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best at www.premierpetsupply.com.
Every year, after a cold and dreary winter, Metro Detroiters come together for 2 things: Tigers baseball and the best damned party in the world. A new season of Tigers baseball is here, and we're bringing in the new season as only Woodward Sports knows how. Broadcasting live from the biggest party, it's the Grand Slam Festival at the Detroit Opera House. Come party with 4,000 Detroit sports fans, starting with Wake Up Woodward and rolling into Big D Energy. This is a party you don't want to miss, with Detroit's best DJs, food trucks, and of course, shots. Get your tickets now at GrandSlamFest.com. 21 plus. See you April 5th at the Grand Slam Fest.
Any Lady Jane's haircuts for men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's haircuts for men, it's wicked awesome.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts Woodward Sports.
What's better than crispy chicken and pizza while watching your favorite team play? If you're an Iowa Hawkeye fan, then nothing. Because last night, Caitlin Clark was unstoppable. By the way, Jason Sudeikis was at the game. I thought that was him from all his funny movies. Let me tell you about Soroki's Crispy Pizza and Chicken. Their food is amazing, and their locations are popping up all over. Canton, Farmington Hills, Hazlitt, South Lyon, Taylor. They're everywhere you are. And also, so is their pizza, so is the salad, so is the sides. It is the best pizza. It's the crispy chicken that does it for us here at Woodward Sports. That's SARKIS.com. Soroki's on Woodward Sports. That's crispy. Before we went to break, we were playing the game. We were.
I got to stop you real quick, though.
Somebody in the chat. Shout out to them.
You said Jason Sudeikis. Did you see Ted Lasso?
What? It's one of my favorite shows.
It's fantastic.
They got to end it now, though, because last season was kind of.
Yeah.
It was like you missed the sweet mark.
Yeah. If you haven't watched it at home, it's so good.
Show.
It really is.
It's a great watch. It's amazing. I love the owner who plays. She plays the nun in Game of Thrones. Shame.
That's. Whoa!
Oh, you didn't know
just
that's
blew my mind.
Yeah, the tall chick that she gets revenge. In Game of Thrones.
She's foxy in Ted Lasso. She is not foxy in
Shame.
No. Wow. I did not realize that's the same woman.
100%.
Impressive.
She can sing too, by the way. Impressive. She that Christmas episode.
Yeah, no, it's so good. I love that show.
I'm hooked. Here's a couple more running backs, just real quick, that we missed, and then I want to get to quarterbacks. Kierwin Williams
Ooh.
That's one. He's
Kyron
nasty.
was really good.
Kyron's nasty. Out of the Rams,
He was fantastic last year.
Kyron Williams is nice.
Push.
Yeah, I would have to agree. That boy is nasty. So
He was, what, a 4th, 5th round pick as well, right?
third. I think it
Oh,
was
he's
third or
third?
fourth. Yeah, third or fourth.
Okay. I thought he went a little later.
All right, here we go. Time to get to the quarterbacks. Jared Goff or Lamar Jackson? Jared Goff or Jalen Hurts?
Round 5, Kyron Williams.
Round 5, I was wrong. Excuse me.
Round 5. He really came out of nowhere, but I'm sorry. I missed your question. I was excited over Kyron.
Oh, not a problem at all. Would you take either or? Would you have Jared Goff or Jalen Hurts?
Jalen Hurts.
Okay. Would you take Josh Allen? Josh Allen or Goff? You're taking Allen. Dak Prescott.
I'm not guaranteed on Josh Allen. I'm really not. I mean, the guy athletically, he's amazing.
Hey, come,
but
relax.
that guy loses big games.
Come on, relax.
All right.
Yeah,
I don't rank him above him. But
don't
it's not a slam dunk.
I feel you, but don't do that. Dak Prescott or Josh Allen? Or Jared Goff?
Dak had a great year last year, but the mistakes that man makes in big games, I would rather have Jared Goff.
Okay. I know you take Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
Trevor Lawrence.
I am not a T-Law guy. You guys know that. I don't think he should even be called T-Law. It's too cool of a nickname for him. So
Justin Herbert or Jared Goff?
Definitely Jared Goff.
Over Justin Herbert?
Mm-hmm.
What say you, Kool-Aid, on this one? Would you take Jared Goff or would you take Justin Herbert?
Oh, man. For the long term, you got to look at Justin Herbert. For the right now, I got to take Jared Goff.
Like, Justin Herbert can win you games. I mean, and he hasn't, but he also haven't had a good head coach. That's why he was fired. Brandon Staley, hence why Jim Harbaugh is there. He also had a lack of a running game. And you can't count on Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. Like, they're amazing when they're there, but that's just it. They always
never
seem like
play
they're hardly
17
there.
games. That's
yeah,
for sure.
100%. So I would take Justin, but I understand what you're saying as it relates to taking Goff. Stafford or Goff?
You're kidding, right?
I have to ask these questions.
I not only do not want Stafford ever again, I am no longer a fan of his at all after he went out of his way to not show happiness for the city of Detroit.
Okay, it's not about that. Skill-wise, are you taking
Goff?
Okay, appreciate that. Are you on the same page?
That's right.
Wow.
Are you on the same page?
Man, you know what?
Super Bowl champ, Matt Stafford.
I honestly, man, Stafford.
Yeah.
I have to take Stafford. I would. I'm sorry, Anson.
You ain't got to apologize to me. You got to apologize to Jared Goff when you see him.
Stafford down right here.
Look, I love Jared Goff. I really do. I think that he's a guy that can get us to the big dance and potentially win it. But
I need a guy if you go outside and it's a little bit windy, he can get the ball past 20 yards.
Are we talking just one season? Like one season?
Oh, wait, did I say that out loud? Did I say that out loud? Was that golf slander? Was that golf slander?
Was a little bit, my friend.
That's
those Baltimore games in October. Woo,
yeah,
it's windy out
Baltimore
here.
and Chicago games come to mind.
It's a little windy out here, man.
We do have
Chicago
to take
in
this.
November.
We got to realize this guy was catching balls in the NFL.
Windy.
You know, so it's got to change things up watching it from the sidelines to actually catching a spiral from a QB. And I got to say, there are he's very limited in certain situations.
Yes, 100%. Would you take Brock Purdy or Jared Goff? Here's a good one.
Wow.
I honestly would take Jared Goff over Brock
Okay,
Purdy.
because if it's about the offensive line, which it has been for the Detroit Lions that Jared Goff's sitting behind, well, Brock Purdy seems like he gets the job done too behind San Fran's offensive line.
He is
and
a
they
little
have
bit more
a wizard
mobile, too, though.
as an OC as well, Kyle Shanahan. But what say you?
That's a really tough one.
I'm gonna use your words.
I
say push.
Yeah, I was going to say push too.
That's more
if we're looking at the body of work over their career, I'd probably have to go with Purdy right now. I am not a Purdy believer.
I'm taking Purdy actually. The hell with the push, because also those pause his legs.
Yes, escapability.
We didn't know that escapability was there. He didn't use it a lot. It's kind of like Justin Fields at Ohio State. I didn't know he could run until he got to Chicago. I think Brock Purdy, he showed us that he can run in this playoff. He ran against Green Bay, and he damn sure ran against the Detroit Lions. So.
You know what?
And it's similar, yeah.
I was going to say, as much as we talk about the Detroit Lions shooting themselves in the foot in that game, Brock Purdy's legs, man, in that second half of the game against the Lions 49ers, I think that changed the whole tenor of everything. The defense was holding, and then he was able to break free for long runs, first downs, and extend drives. And
what are the people in the chat saying? Like as we pull these up there, I gotta know what they're saying. Joe Burrow or Goff?
I'm sorry, I can't get rid of Joe Burrow just because he was hurt one year.
All righty, C.J. Stroud. Got to go C.J. Stroud after what he did last year.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks tremendous.
It's one of those ones where you really want to sit there and assess it from a rookie standpoint. Like, man, he's a rookie. You got to prove it a couple more times. You come in as a rookie, play like he did, and win a playoff game. Like, like, it was at home, granted, but I don't care. You still have to be a different type of level to be mindset dialed in to win a playoff game as a rookie. Got to give him that.
His focus and moxie as a leader of that team, I was really impressed with out of a rookie.
Just seems unfazed, like really unfazed.
Jordan Love or Jared Goff?
Jared Goff, but I do believe highly in Love. I think that they're very close.
Challenge flag.
First game of the season, Jared Goff. That second game with Love, he was hitting some windows that I didn't see him hit earlier in the season, man. Goodness gracious.
Jordan Love beat us 3 out of 4 quarters. Or 3 out of 4 halves, should I say. Excuse me.
That's a tough one, man.
I'm going to add Jordan Love on here, too, because he's mobile as well. I think he's coming to his own. Confidence is a real deal. Look, you look at a guy like Jared Goff, had success early. Once he lost that confidence, dwindled away a little bit, but once he got the confidence back, you're seeing a new Jared Goff. Jordan Love's confidence is at an all-time high. I mean, they were just like the Lions. They should have beat the San Francisco 49ers. So
Green Bay seems to have a system for quarterbacks now, don't they?
Matt LaFleur, and he knew that Aaron Rodgers wasn't in the system. That's why he took the ball out of his hands in the infamous playoff game where Aaron Rodgers got mad. He said, look, just throw the ball.
Yeah, you got Rich Baldwin in the chat. He said it's a push. That guy up north, Love, easily. Apollo, I'm not even a slappy, but Goff deserves his respect.
He definitely deserves respect. He's done something in Detroit that no other quarterback has done. He's won 2 playoff games and was winning another in San Francisco. You see what he's done in the last, you could say the last 10 games of last year, holding on to this year, and then with the playoff. He's done tremendously well, but you're asking questions about which quarterback would you have?
Seth Irvin or Mike Hart?
Oh, Mike Hart. Like Seth Irvin, but I've known Seth Irvin a long time. I knew him before I even went to Michigan. Cedric Irvin was a beast.
Yes, he was. I played hoops with him quite a few times.
He was Cedric. I mean, Mike was different. Like, I never saw the first 2 people tackle Mike. Like, Mike wasn't fast at all, but I never saw the first 2 people. He didn't even need our blocks initially. He needed them down the field with his slow ass. But those first couple blocks, he didn't need them. He set people up real nice. He was very patient, and he used his offensive line. I mean, when you're running behind Jake Long, you can run whatever the hell you want to.
Kirk Cousins or Henny?
Chad.
I knew he was going there.
he won a Big Ten as a freshman. He won Big Ten championship as a freshman.
Fair enough, buddy.
Yeah, he had some tools in the shed, but so did Kirk. Kirk had some tremendous running backs and receivers when he played as well. They both were really good college quarterbacks. You can't take anything away from Kirk, but I played with Chad, and Chad won as a freshman. So,
and I love me some Chuck Rogers, but I'm taking Braylon over Charles
Chuck's
Rogers.
my guy, man. Saginaw, shout out, I appreciate that.
And the one from Break, J.J. McCarthy or Connor Cook.
I already heard that one. I'm not addressing that one. I already came up with my own. If you didn't hear it, it was Cousins and Henny. Thank you.
All right, and then you got obviously Russell Wilson. Kirk Cousins is another one. Justin Fields, Aaron Rodgers, Sam Howell, Anthony Richardson. So you guys got Goff slated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You guys got him the 8th best quarterback in the league. I'm just looking at these numbers, and I'm looking at the skill position. If you got the number 4 wide receiver in the league, you got the number 1 tight end receiver in the league, Jahmyr Gibbs could be as good as the number 4, maybe even better, depending on how he runs behind this team this year. Because last year, he started off as a second. He was filling the season out. Yes. He was filling the ground out. But now he's catching out of the backfield. They got him set up, and he's running between the tackles. So I agree. Jared Goff's the 8th best quarterback. We say I think that's fair. Jameson will be probably down the line at wide receiver, I don't know, maybe 35.
I was going to say 45, but
30,
I think he could get up there.
Yeah, to start the season. And then maybe how he finished. He had 2 touchdowns in that game, one in reverse, a big catch.
Yep.
So maybe he takes the leap. And then Montgomery. You know, you got the 4th best running back, but you also may have the 8th best running back in the NFL based on the stats last year. That's a recipe for a damn good season.
Certainly is.
That's a recipe for a damn good season.
So draft an offensive lineman in the first round and keep it going. Keep it going.
Line.
That's what I think.
I don't mind that.
Keep it going.
Well,
keep these guys protected. Keep them upright. We got the best tackle in the game. Let's keep that offense going.
Let me ask you that, Kool-Aid, because we've talked about this at nauseum at now, but that's what you do around the draft. Pick 29. What do? Do you need a DB? Do you need a wide receiver? Do you need another defensive end, another defensive lineman, or do you need a lineman? You know, do you need a lineman to come in there because of Jonah Jackson leaving, because of all the one-year deals, and because of Frank Ragnow and Taylor Decker, guys like they're getting older? What do you do, and what do you feel like you have to do?
You know what? Brad Holmes has set himself up perfectly for this draft to be able to go and do whatever he wants to, even if that's trade up, trade down, or just stay at 29. If he wants to pick any of those positions, man, with what he did in free agency, it gives him the flexibility to go out there. And me personally, I'm hoping that he goes after a cornerback. I think if we can get another kind of tough-minded cornerback in that secondary to kind of pair it with a iffy Brian Branch and those guys, I think that you absolutely elevate the level of this defensive play, especially like with DJ Reader. I think the people that would benefit the most if you go and you get a cornerback back there is the linebacking core, who I think a lot of people want to see the Detroit Lions linebackers take a big leap forward next year. You got Anzalone. People want to see Jack Campbell kind of improve a lot over what they saw last year. I thought he got better as the season went on, but cornerback or wide receiver for me, if they were going to pick in the first round, I lean a little bit more towards a cornerback.
He brings up a position that the Lions have kind of struggled at as well, and that's the linebacker core position. It seems like they struggled at every position on defense, but they've now seemed to fix it over the last 2 years or so, a couple picks from 3 years ago as well. The linebacker position. When we picked Jack Campbell last year, we did the live show. We did it in right around the corner, I want to say, and when they drafted Jack Campbell, it was one of those moments where I had to pause. I didn't think that was the draft for the Lions. I thought he's a 6'5" linebacker, slow laterally in terms of left to right. That's the way the game is played. You look at Greenlaw, you look at Warner, you look at I always forget his name from the Baltimore Ravens. Oh my God, like he's just
number 0 from
Alabama,
from Chicago.
Chicago, exactly. 100%. They made the deal for him. He goes there. Like, he just didn't seem like the move. Like, should I give him more time? Like Kool-Aid is saying, last season seemed like he came on a little bit. He had some tackles. He definitely played a lot. I just don't know if that was the right move. Am I, a year later, still, doing too much?
I'll tell you, I would have loved to have seen the Lions make that trade for Roquan. What we've done with our linebacker core is overachieve, to be quite honest with you.
Yes.
Anzalone played out of his mind compared to what he was, which was basically a journeyman around the league.
Did you see? Hold on. Did you see what the Saints? What player was it? Davenport that we picked up that played with Anzalone with the Saints. Did you see what he said when they talked about his season? He was like, "Oh, he did what? Oh, he had that type of year."
Oh, really?
He was like, "Oh, he was just he wasn't that." And Saints basically, what he's about to say, he was like, he barely made the team, and he barely made the team here with the Lions.
Yeah.
3 years ago. So I think that comes from an honest space.
I think that's their biggest weakness right now in terms of what they need to fix on both sides of the ball. I think it's that linebacking core. I believe that they can play above their level of expectation, but man, if they could get an absolute dynamic playmaker, a linebacker, this team would be like serious.
Yeah, 100%. We're looking at that position right now as I'm looking at your boy Javi Baez on the mound from last night. I'm just happy he's making some contact. That joker Javier Baez couldn't hit water if he fell out of the boat.
188 average worth of contact.
Hey, look, I tell you like this, but now averages are changing. You're not having the same averages you had in the early 2000s or in the mid 2000s or late 2000s, 2010s. Guys are hitting 244, 233, 200, 210. They're hitting more home runs though. Now they hit more home runs. They're not hitting the ball.
Pitching's down, that's for sure.
Yeah, pitching's definitely down. All right, look, we got one last break, and then we'll come back and finish the show. My man P. Spivak, tell me where to go.
let's go back to merch, man. We could do one more
let's see you
merch
then.
thing. Absolutely, my friends. You know, if you're tired of wearing the same old Detroit sports gear, go to shop.woodwardsports.com and check out the new hoodies, especially that LFGRW. We all know what that stands for, and we are coming out soon with like a political style thing of Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell, president and vice president. So definitely check out shop.woodwardsports.com for the hoodies, the tees, and the hats that are guaranteed to turn heads. Again, shop woodwardsports.com. We'll be right back.
Every year, after a cold and dreary winter, Metro Detroiters come together for two things: Tigers baseball and the best damned party in the world. A new season of Tigers baseball is here, and we're bringing in the new season as only Woodward Sports knows how. Broadcasting live from the biggest party. It's the Grand Slam Festival at the Detroit Opera House. Come party with 4,000 Detroit sports fans, starting with Wake Up Woodward and rolling into Big D Energy. This is a party you don't want to miss, with Detroit's best DJs, food trucks, and of course, shots. Get your tickets now at GrandSlamFest.com. 21 plus. See you April 5th at the Grand Slam Fest.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
And with the first pick in the 2024 Media Draft, Detroit selects Woodward Sports. Thank you for making us the #1 digital network in Detroit.
Welcome back, Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. No Ryan Ermanni today, no Tom Mazaway as well. But my man, Anson Wells.
Kicking back with Braylon.
He filled in and we had a great time. And we're just kicking back, man. Got my feet kicked up. You know, this is the show, Woodward Sports. Did you see the San Francisco 49ers fullback, Kyle Juszczyk, who drops no passes? He's an excellent player. He makes the Pro Bowl every year. But it's kind of grandfathered in. Once you get a fullback that's on a good team, they pick him every year. I mean, Lorenzo Neal made the Pro Bowl every freaking year. I think he had a situation with a bird in his house, and it was Kyle Juszczyk versus a bird.
Bro, I hate birds so much.
Whoa. Oh, he missed. He was too slow.
Why don't we just open the window?
I wish he couldn't catch like that in the NFC Championship.
The dogs were very useless right there as Kyle Juszczyk was trying to surfing bird over there.
Everybody heard about
there
the bird.
It is. You know about it.
Bird,
If you watch Family Guy, that is one of the best skits that was ever created. All right, let me get my foot down as we get to the end of the show.
Bird.
Side note, let's go to the Red Wings just for 2 seconds. I know you're not necessarily the biggest hockey fan, but I am, man. I'm excited for the Red Wings. Yeah, I thought that they were going to win. You look at the town now, you see what the Lions are able to do. The Lions, I think they gave every other team in this town some hope. You look at some changes with Stevie Yzerman. So I was excited. I thought they could do it, but they go on a 9-game losing streak. But here they are. They beat the Tampa Bay Lightning, one of the best teams in hockey. They're 4-2. Just the chances. Here you go. They're 37, 30, and 8, I do believe. What are their chances, say you, Anson, of making the postseason?
They got Yzerman, right?
They've had him the last 4 years.
They got Yzerman, right?
They got Stevie Y.
We were here last week, and you guys didn't like their chances, and they've done well since then. They've got even things up. I know that there's 2 games in hand that they're behind. But I don't know. Things feel good in Detroit right now. They got Yzerman. I mean, if there's anybody,
Tigers are 4-0.
That's right. I'm telling you, man. I've been saying this decade is going to end up being a great one for Detroit sports. It might not be their year, but I don't know. They got Stevie Yzerman. I think that he's going to be enough to get them into that last spot.
I want to say, what was I thinking about? Man, you made me think about. Yesterday, if the Pistons could have held off the Memphis Grizzlies and Jalen Duren's tooth wouldn't have gotten knocked out, if you will. Chicklets. They would have won Pistons, the Wings, and the Tigers. I wonder if it was the last time they've done that.
I think it was 1989.
Whoa.
No, I'm kidding. It's been a minute, though, certainly.
What are you doing today, Kool-Aid? What are you doing tonight? What are you watching? What's on the list? What you got going?
Hey,
what does it look like for you?
Tonight is just chilling out with the fam, man, the newborn. Get Pistons? As much time as possible, man. Definitely. Because Pistons was last night.
Ooh.
They had practice a little bit earlier. Going to probably get to a practice and a shoot-around tomorrow as well. So it's just resting up.
So you and the fam got the new one on board. Makes 4. You got your lovely lady as well.
Yes,
what
sir.
What does a night look like for you guys?
Hey, you know what? When I get in, I try and make sure that I let wifey rest up a little bit. I try and play with the kids. I try and make sure I feed the newborn. You know what? I can't even lie on air. I haven't changed the diaper yet of the newborn. I've changed the diapers from the previous 3.
Okay.
I'm sure she's
you got some skin in the game already.
I got skin in the game.
Okay, you got skin in the game.
I got the
already.
skin in the game
You got skin
already.
in the game.
But yeah, it's just honestly just chilling out, man. With the
Nothing
family,
wrong with
relaxing,
chilling.
watch some shows with them. Me and my oldest, we try and get out and play a little ball.
How old is your
football and basketball? 11. He'll be 12 this year.
Okay, shout out to those. What's his name?
You know, Jeremiah. We call him Kid Kool-Aid.
Kid Kool-Aid.
And tomorrow is our 13th year anniversary.
Hey.
So,
Congratulations, bro. That's
beautiful
awesome.
thing.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome.
What's the secret to 13 years?
Because I haven't even strung together 3.
I'm not married. I'm trying to say, I'm trying to ask, will you marry me? How do you string together 13 years?
She's always right.
Oh, there it is.
Oh.
That's it.
My dad told me something similar.
I've heard that one before, but maybe that's why I'm sitting here single, huh?
You got to start listening to the information being passed your way, man. P. Spivak, not 13 years in the game, but this is the man of the pinball machine. What say you? What are you up to this Tuesday?
Tonight is going to strictly be very boring, man.
It's a boring night?
Laundry and gambling online.
Now, laundry is a good thing. What type?
But it's boring.
What type of detergent do you use?
I use Tide, man.
Gotta use Tide.
Gotta use
Powder or liquid?
Ooh,
Oh, liquid, dude.
All day.
All day liquid. And
All day.
not
You
too
gotta
much.
use it.
People who put in like the whole cap, you just need like a little bit, man.
You gotta use the bounty. You gotta use the bounty.
Got the dryer sheets.
Not that. That's definitely the dryer. But the little sprinkles, the little balls.
The little balls?
Oh,
yeah,
the
yeah.
balls.
I like those too.
The downy. Oh my God, it's amazing. Like I've just discovered that. My girl. Oh man, it's amazing. You get the downy, you get the Tide. It's in there. What about you? What's your night look like?
I will be watching my fantasy basketball team hopefully win my championship.
Who's on the squad? Who's
Oh
who's
man,
your
it's
squad?
deep. It's deep. I will tell you this: there's somebody heading up last place in our fantasy basketball league.
Oh, is it Kool-Aid? Kool-Aid, you already getting smoked?
He's got a jab.
You deserve that one. You know you deserve that one. I've been patient all season.
Kool-Aid.
Hey, no, look. I picked a good team. He
did.
Low
The jumping
management.
off
Is
it low management that's killing you?
I just wasn't active, man. I wasn't.
No, that he wasn't active. He hasn't put in the lineup since week 1. So I'm
same.
throwing him under the bus a little bit here, but he is in last
Gut
place.
punch.
I remember the first time I played fantasy football. Like I had signed in 2008 with Yahoo. We were doing like a feature. I made the Pro Bowl the year before, so they kind of had me as one of the guys. They came out to Cleveland. We did the draft live at one of the sports bars in downtown Cleveland. It was fun, and then I never went back. I thought it was set. I thought it would just it would play out. So in week 7, everybody's like, "Yo, what's going on? What's your team look like?" I was like, "I don't know. You check them out." I had no points. I lost all the games because you have to sub when people are injured, when people have bye weeks. I didn't get all that. I still don't. But last year I did win my first fantasy football team.
Well, I've got one. Your first one, huh?
Yeah, I don't play like that. Really.
I've got a guy on my team. That's all you really need. Named Victor Wembanyama.
Oh yeah, he's heating up because he's in a lot of stats.
So something came up the other day that I saw, and they said that he is the most impactful and important rookie
in the history
of any game. Any game.
Yeah.
And I mean, I really can't say that there's anybody else, because let's talk about it.
Magic Johnson got
LeBron
something
would
to say
go
about
number
that.
2 in this year's draft.
Magic Johnson got something to say about that.
Sure. And Magic, but
Chip.
he didn't do it without Bird.
Chip.
And what this kid is doing on both sides of the ball, this kid's going to be the rookie of the year and the defensive player of the year. This kid's almost got more. He's got, I believe, 100 more rebounds and steals than the last 7 defensive players of the year.
Yeah.
And the fact that for the first time in the history of the NBA, you are going to see a foreign-born player dominate and be the best player, because in 3 years, he will be the best player, mark my words, hands down in the NBA. So, yeah, I got him on my team. I'll be watching him tonight.
Well, it sounds like you cheated and you stacked the deck, but that is the way to go.
Picked him number 19, man. They were sleeping.
You ain't trying.
He ain't trying.
Yo, we appreciate you guys for tuning in to Woodward Sports. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Those guys will be back next week. But your boy, you get more of me and Stick and Anson. And you get more of my man Kool-Aid. You get more of Woodward Sports. And you get more of the main man that you love to do the reads. That is my man in the TD booth.
Hey.
Pete
I love you, Bray. You know that, man.
You too, brother.
we didn't ask Bray, what are you doing tonight?
Yeah, exactly.
We want to know what you're doing tonight.
My girlfriend's brother's in town. We're going to grab some Mexican food. Probably go back to the house, have a margarita, talk, have some conversations, some stimulating conversations, some jokes, and go to sleep and get ready for the gym tomorrow.
Fantastic.
Very simple, man. See,
Hey.
I need to get a haircut. I'm tired of looking at myself on the screen.
It's open right now. There's plenty of. It's open. Go get an appointment.
We love you guys. Get out of here. Ugh.